Gold is rebounding from its summer lulls, but can the momentum continue? Joining me today is Bill Baruch, president of Blue Line Futures. Bill, good to see you. Thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for having me on again.
So since we last spoke, Bill, gold fell to a 1.5-year low, but in the past week, the metal has rebounded past, the key psychological level of 1,200 here. So are we finally going to see momentum?
We're starting to get some momentum, but the real thing to understand is this record short position, and the shorts haven't even begun to cover yet. You're just seeing some jogging back and forth. What I'm watching coming into today is 1204. We've developed a trend line from the lows. 1204 was a big level on the downside, and when that was taken out, you had to get out of the way. But 1204 now comes back in and aligns with the trend line from the lows. And we're testing it here today as the dollar, maybe not the dollar index has increased much, but the dollar against emerging market currencies has increased a lot. So it is putting pressure on gold, and it's a safe haven flight to the dollar, and it's stolen that safe haven attributes from gold. So 1204 is going to be very critical today. If we close below that, then it's going to close below that trend line. And you got to watch for a bigger consolidation lower. Maybe it could extend back into the 1180s. This is not a bad thing, but the market is in a bottoming process, and I think that would ultimately, a move down there, if it had to happen, and if it held, that would be a good thing.
All right. So you really do think that the rally, and I say that in quotes, that we're seeing today is because of the short covering?
Yes. We saw, there wasn't short covering in gold per se recently. I think it was some buying that's come in and a really bit of a bounce back, a rip back from a washout. I don't think we've seen the short covering yet. I think ultimately we need to see the close above 1220, 1227, and that would carry us another $25 into about 1250.
Right.
1250 is what I'm looking at as a huge level in this range, in this area from this fallout below 1300. And what I'm comparing this to now is looking back to August of 2015. If you remembered August 2015, the Chinese yuan had weakened greatly. And not only that, it dragged down the equity market. But that was happening in July of 2015, and you saw gold really take a hit, dragging down lower in through that last week of August. The only difference then and now is that gold is not responding to a stock market correction because there isn't one. So if you take that part away, it took gold a little bit of a bottoming process. It rallied from about 1060, 1070 to 1190. It was about $100 to $120 move in the first week of October. I think that's what we're getting right here, and that would be the 1250. There was another test to the downside, and it took a big bottoming process in through January before it really started to rip up. And I think we could see something very comparable.
All right. Switching gears now, Bill, to copper, which has been rallying lately. Are base metals, indicating that the economy is growing here?
I do like copper in this general region. One thing I'm watching is you need to get a close back above about 278 to 280. And ironically, since it's fallen out below that level, we've seen other technical indicators align with that level. There is now also some trendline resistance from coming from a previous support and coming from previous resistance trendline as well. So there is tremendous headwinds for copper. And then with these emerging market currencies taking tremendous hits, there's fear there that there's growth going to slow in South America. There's growth that's going to slow tide, whether it's to be Italy or Turkey, or with international trade. That's all dragging copper lower. I think in the longer term, there is tremendous value at 260, but you have to be patient with this. And once it closes above 280, I think it could start to run again.
All right. Bill Baruch, thanks so much for your thoughts today.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow.